Hello there guys and welcome, it is Neron here and today it is time for me to bring you episode number 16 of our FIFA 16 Leicester City career mode, and in today's episode we have got 3 games for you guys today. I'm playing Watford in the Barclays Premier League as well as West Brom in the Premier League and also an FA Cup tie against QPR, but obviously last episode was the gem of an episode where we took part in the Capital One Cup final and won our first silverware of the series in our first attempt in a Wembley triumph over Arsenal. It was a tricky game in the end, but we did just about manage to come out on top, so that was a fantastic episode. It also featured a Barclays Premier League game against Arsenal and also against Liverpool, which both ended in draws. But yes, so if you do go on to enjoy this video, feel free to smash the likes button, that would be massively appreciated. 75 likes as always on this series will be massively appreciated. But in the meantime, in the background, what you're seeing before we get into the first game of today's episode is me offering new contracts to both of my fullbacks, or 2 of my fullbacks even, being Richie Delat and Jeffrey Schlupp. Jeffrey Schlupp actually said he wanted a pay rise in comparison to what he's earning, in comparison to sort of how often he plays. And Richie Delat, I think his contract was expiring, or I just decided to give him a new contract anyway. Yeah, so hopefully those guys will both accept, and if not, hopefully they'll at least just want a little bit more money. Nevertheless, we're getting into the first game of this episode, and it's against Watford at Vicarage Road. There you can see the squad in the background. Masuaku and Kante again there as defensive mids, meaning Schlupp is again as a left-back. Vardy and Kramrich with a partnership up front, and they combined to set Pione Sisto through in just the 12th minute. He tried to finesse it around Kameni, who's now the Watford goalkeeper, but unfortunately, the Cameroonian goalkeeper was there to make the save. Now Riyad Mahrez going forward in the 23rd minute, and again forcing a good save from Watford's goalkeeper. And we certainly had the early possession. We had the real cut, the big cut of the early chances. But Watford tried to get back into the game there. A long shot from Alman Abdi. Going into the second half there, Valon Barami losing the ball, denying a clear counter-attacking opportunity, but not getting a yellow card. That looked at least a clear-cut yellow card, it has to be said. Watford, though, going forward again, they gradually came into the game there, and a good save from Kasper Schmeichel to deny the Watford free kick. But from the resulting corner, 62nd minute, it's whipped in there by Gerardo, and it's on to the head there of Belkalem, I think it is, the centre-half, and he has managed to nod it in at the near post, past Kasper Schmeichel and N'Golo Kante there on the near post. And what's his name? Essayed Belkalem, that's the one. He's given Watford the lead, which is a massive shame. But as you can see, we're going forward again. Jeffrey Schlupp brought down cynically by Valon Barami, who does get a yellow card now. But if he'd got a yellow card for what he deserved to get earlier, he would be sent off by now. But we're not going to let that get to us, as Richie Delat is put through there by Shinji Okazaki in the 75th minute. And the man who's been offered a new contract just before this game has shown to us just how vital he is, because he scored in the 2nd episode in a row for a right back. Shocking goalkeeping from Kameni, it has to be said, but Richie Delat has equalised here for Leicester. And it's all got a bit tits up from there on, because Alessandro Diamanti has just put in an immediate response, and what a goal that is. What a goal, may I just add, that is from Diamanti on his left foot, playing for Watford. I don't know if really I could have done anything more there, because I was shepherding him away with N'Golo Kante, but then he just unleashed that and there was nothing I can do. The game unfortunately does end 2-1, which I think is only our 4th loss of this entire series so far. Only our 3rd loss in the Barclays Premier League. But as you could see a moment ago there, Jamie Vardy got man of the match actually in the game, surprisingly. Good ratings as well for Okazaki and Kasper Schmeichel. But Watford did have the majority of the shots. I think we were equal in terms of having good opportunities. But in terms of the actual number of shots, Watford were on top, and in terms of possession. So probably on the balance of play, they did deserve to win the game, despite that goal from Richie Delat for us that equalised at the time. Speaking of Richie Delat, he has actually accepted that contract offer we put on the table for him. So that is nice to see. Hopefully Jeffrey Schlupp will get back to us and give us a similar response. But nevertheless, moving on from that disappointing game against Watford, it is time to move on and get into the second game of this episode. Another Barclays Premier League clash, this time against West Midlands rivals, although we're East Midlands, they're West, against Midlands rivals West Bromwich Albion, who are actually down in the relegation zone at the moment. An all-new midfield being consisting of Dele Alli and Andy King, due to Masuaku and Kante both being fatigued. Nevertheless, we're going forward instantly in just a 3rd minute, and Riyad Mahrez, much like last episode in that Liverpool game, is brought down potentially a little bit soft again, not entirely sure, but James McLean has made the foul there in just a 4th minute, so a terrible start to the game for West Brom. Shinji Okazaki will step up and he will convert the penalty to make it 1-0 very, very early on in this game. We are looking to put the record straight after such a poor game against Watford. It wasn't really, you know, that bad of a performance, but it was a bad result and we're trying to put the record straight. Jamie Vardy now set through there as well, but it's a fantastic save from Ben Foster. That save could prove vital, it has to be said, because we were massively on top, and now West Brom are trying to get back into this game, and we really could have sealed the game off there. Nevertheless, shocking stuff there from Riyad Mahrez to give the ball away. And it's been capitalised upon by West Bromwich Albion in the 33rd minute. And it's Stefan Sessegnon who's got the goal. You might have seen the power bar go up above Riyad Mahrez's head. I did actually press clear the ball about 3 strides before he gave the ball away, so that's slightly frustrating. As you can see, though, West Brom have taken full command of this game, forcing a fantastic one-handed save from Kasper Schmeichel after Craig Gardner hit the post. We're going forward with a long shot of our own there. Bruno Perez again warming the gloves of Ben Foster, and again now in the last minute, Bruno Perez cutting inside. But Ben Foster saves it. It doesn't go in. I'm not going to lie to you. There was probably some dubstep music or trap music building up there in the background. But unfortunately, the last minute goal did not come. And again, I would say the result is probably fairly deserved. It's been pretty disappointing so far. In 2 games we should have won. We've got 1 point out of 6. Good ratings from Okazaki and Jamie Vardy nevertheless. But slightly disappointing in the results we have earned so far in this episode. But I suppose we've got the cup game, the FA Cup game against QPR to make up for that. So that's something to perhaps look forward to in this episode. But in terms of the Premier League, it's not been fantastic. As you can see there in the background, we are training Jamie Vardy alone. Because in the last vote, he actually dominated. He got 8 votes in comparison to everything else. Like 4 times the votes of everyone else. So I've just decided to literally solely train Jamie Vardy for this episode. But as always, there will be a link in the description to a straw poll suggesting what players I should train in the next episode. So just leave a tick next to the player you want me to train next episode, and usually the top 3 win. But in that case, it was so one-sided, I just decided to train Jamie Vardy. But yeah, a link to that will be in the description below, so make sure to go check that out. But nevertheless, it is time for the 3rd and final game of this episode. It's another cup game, which means there's a slightly weakened team. Liam Moore coming into the side to replace Kevin Wimmer. Drinkwater into the side, Iheanacho, and also Nathan Dyer there as well, with Chowdhury, Tom Lawrence and Stankovic on the bench. But Iheanacho set forward in the 7th minute, and this is becoming a fairly regular theme. Another early penalty in this episode. It's Yoon Suk Young who's taken him down. Surely that was a goal-scoring opportunity, and indeed the referee agrees with my opinion. He has sent off the South Korean fullback for a pretty cynical foul there on Kelechi Iheanacho. It's his strike partner, Andre Kramaric, who will step up for this one, and he sends Rob Green the wrong way in the QPR net to give us the lead on the 10-minute mark. Lovely little penalty there from Andre Kramaric, and we have a 1-0 lead here at Loftus Road. But QPR are going forward again. A ball into the box there towards Tyrone Cherry. He's going to try and get the strike away. It's blocked by Perez. It falls to Matty Phillips. And Kasper Schmeichel, what are you doing? He's dived straight out of the way of the ball, and QPR, 31 minutes after we took the lead, have got a reprieve on the edge of half-time, and it's Matty Phillips who's got the goal after it broke to him after the block from Bruno Perez of Tyrone Cherry's strike. Nevertheless, on the edge of half-time, we're trying to make an immediate response here. Kramaric, lovely 1-2 between himself and Kante. It hits the post, and Kante is there once again to put in the rebound. A 1-2 between Kante and Kramaric, and then a 1-2 between Kante and the post, and it ends with us taking the lead in probably the 4th or 5th minute of injury time in this first half. And it's N'Golo Kante, who's, I have to say, scored quite a lot of goals in this series for a centre defensive midfielder, but he's done a very good job. Francois Camano, who's off the bench now, he came on at half-time. He finds N'Golo Kante. The shot is saved there by Rob Green, but it falls to Kelechi Iheanacho. And what a finish that is at the near post, blasting it past Rob Green after an initial first good save. A very good initial save, that's what I was trying to say. And Kelechi Iheanacho is there to get his, I think, 3rd goal for the club. I'm not entirely sure. We're really going forward fantastically now. Kramaric now finding N'Golo Kante again, and it's 4-1, and we've got a real goal flurry on our hands. The gates have opened, if you like, the floodgates have opened, and now we are 4-1 up in somewhat of a flash. And N'Golo Kante, has got a brace for a defensive midfielder. We're going forward again. It's Iheanacho this time forcing another good save from Rob Green there with just 10 minutes to go now. Iheanacho going forward yet again. He probably deserves more than one goal in this game, but a lovely one-handed save there from Rob Green in the QPR net. Now Bruno Perez standing over a free kick. Surely he can't get this in. Surely not. He smacks and it hits the bar. What a strike that was from Bruno Perez. And that deserved a goal. Surely that deserved a goal. Just to bounce off the line, go in. Goal line technology needed. That would have been fantastic. But nevertheless, it did hit the crossbar. Therefore, the game does end 4-1. A fantastic performance from the squad. Also fantastic performances there from Kramaric and Kante. Kante who got a brace. Kramaric who got man of the match. Fantastic stuff from both of those guys. But as you can see, Jeffrey Schlupp, who I think may have featured in that game actually, has decided he does not want to sign the new contract that I offered to him. He says he's not sure he wants to commit to it, aka he wants to bundle more cash per week. I've seen this multiple times on FIFA career mode, and he just wants more money basically. So next episode, when we sorted out the budget allocation, we'll offer him a better contract. But nevertheless, here is how the table is affected by today's episode. Chelsea are now 7 points clear of Manchester United, who are now up in second place, and actually 5 points clear of third place Arsenal. So United really making a charge now for the title, closing in on Chelsea and have a game in hand on those guys. We are currently in fourth. We're now behind Arsenal after a pretty poor Barclays Premier League episode. A pretty poor episode as far as Barclays Premier League results are concerned. We are, however, above Newcastle though now on goal difference, and we've also played a game less than them. We've got Manchester City closing us down there, 1 point behind, but also have played a game more. So we're looking at around about 4th or 5th as a net position probably by the end of the season, because there's a big gap back to Everton, Spurs, Sunderland and Watford, who occupy the rest of the top 10. West Brom there down at the bottom of the table after our draw with them in the second game of today's episode. But I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Feel free to smash the likes button if you did. 75 likes as always would be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new around here as well for FIFA 16 career mode content and also top tips videos, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much, as well as voting on the player you would like me to train next episode. But nevertheless, it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.